Hello from London. It's a sunny morning in January, and I thought I would take the opportunity while the sun is out to do a reading from Eeek, the Runaway Alien. I've long been meaning to add this to my YouTube channel, so I hope you're going to enjoy. I put on my green cardigan just to celebrate the fact that it was Eeek. And if you look at the back of my office, you can see I've got a little blow up Eeek there, standing up there. So he was quite fun. I took him along when I went to a book fair once, and all the children were coming up to say hello to him. Now, just quickly to remind you a bit about the book, the reason I wrote Eeek, the Runaway Alien, I have two boys, George and Nick. And when they were younger, Nick was a big reader, and he still is. He read Lord of the Rings when he was 9, whereas George, my older son, he was always so busy playing football, he never had time to pick up a book. And I thought, well, how am I going to get George to read a book? And I suddenly thought, oh, if I write a story that's got football in it, that might persuade him. And then I thought, well, what else do boys like? Oh, they like aliens, or a lot of boys do. So how about we have an alien that runs away from space to Earth because he's mad about football and the World Cup's on? So that's how Eeek, the Runaway Alien, came to be written. And as you can see, this is Eeek on the front cover. And believe it or not, I actually did the original illustration for this. And when I go into schools, I show children my original illustration. And it was similar to this, but it looked very unprofessional. So I had to find a professional illustrator to finish it off for me. And his name is Damir Kundelik. And you can see behind me all of his illustrations from not just from this book, but from my other books. And I'm so grateful. I'm so glad that I found him. And he also did the cover for The Secret Lake that you can see over there. And he did all the inside pictures as well, which we're going to, I'll hold up a couple as we get to the pictures as I'm reading. Now, Eeek, the Runaway Alien is written from the point of view of Charlie. He's 11 3/4, so it's like a diary format, very different to The Secret Lake. And I hope you enjoy it. I'm going to read this first chapter. So chapter 1. It was a fairly typical Saturday morning in our house. Dad was in the garden emptying out the shed again. Mum had gone to the gym for her early morning workout. Rory, my 4-year-old brother, was on the sofa wearing Dad's snorkel and mask, watching his favourite underwater scene in Finding Nemo. I was scoring goals against the kitchen wall in front of an imaginary crowd of 50,000. That's when the doorbell rang. "I'll get it," I shouted. I don't know why I shouted, because I knew that neither Dad nor Rory could hear me. As I rushed down the hall to open the front door, I tried to guess which of the following it would be. 1, little Joe Williams from next door asking for his football back, yet again. 2, someone selling tea towels. 3, our postman with a parcel. 4, the National Lottery man to say we'd won. Dream on. Or 5, Mum, hot and sweaty after the gym, having forgotten her key as usual. In fact, it was none of these things. Standing at our door that Saturday morning was, I am not kidding you, an alien. Now I'm going to hold up a picture of the alien from inside the book. Oops, let's see. Here he is. I'm just going to hold him so hopefully you can all see that. There's Eeek at the front door. There we go. Now, most people would jump out of their skins at the sight on their doorstep of a bald-headed fluorescent green monster, and you can see him there up in the background, with pale blue smoke wafting from its tiny semicircular ears. But there was something about this alien that touched my heart. Whether it was his large, slow-blinking pink-red eyes, his snub nose, his friendly smile, or simply the fact that he was exactly my height, I cannot tell you, but for some reason I just stood there and gawped at him in wonder. My gawping and the alien's blinking and smiling carried on for a good 30 seconds. It was as if I had met a long-lost friend, and here we were bonding again. But then I nearly jumped out of my skin as an eerie wheezing and rasping noise floated up from behind my right shoulder. The alien suddenly stopped blinking and pulled such a terrified face as he stared beyond me. I was convinced that an enemy being from the far side of Mercury must have zapped down into my house to come and do battle with him. I swung round in fear for my life to find Rory, complete with snorkel and mask, staring wide-eyed through his steamed-up visor at our visitor. Here comes another picture. There we go. Here's Rory. Can you see Rory just here? Just over here. Here's Rory standing there. And this is when the aliens just knocked on Charlie's door. Hope you can see that. Yeah. Okay. So there we go. Alien at your front door. Not something we all expect on a Saturday morning, eh? Well, the alien couldn't handle the sight of Rory. I think it was the Batman outfit that finished him off. Without warning, he emitted a strange, high-pitched echoing sound, then turned and fled out through our gate and off down the road. "You idiot, Rory," I shouted. Rory wheezed through his snorkel, then shrugged his shoulders and held up his hands, as if to say, "What did I do?" Then he disappeared back to his Finding Nemo DVD, whisking his cape behind him like a matador with attitude. Well, I thought to myself, I've got two choices here. Either I close the door and pretend this never happened, or I race down the road to see if I can find the alien and bring him back. No prizes for guessing which of these two options I picked. What do you think? Do you think he stayed and shut the door? Or do you think he ran down the road to find out what the alien was doing? Yeah, ran down the road. So off he goes down to the end of the road to see if he can find the alien. Oh no, he goes out to his gate, in fact. By the time I got to the gate, my fluorescent green friend had almost reached the end of our road. "Come back," I called in a feeble voice, knowing he wouldn't hear me. Just at that moment, an almighty roar filled the morning sky, and I looked up to see the red arrows streak out through the white-grey clouds and cut a cool formation right over the top of the houses at the end of our road. Awesome. When I glanced to the end of the road again, the alien had stopped and was jumping up and down in a frenzy, pointing at the plains. Here comes another picture. So here's the alien at the end of his road, pointing at the plains. There we go. And a lot of writers will tell you, and I have done very often in my school visits, that we get ideas for our stories from things we see and hear. And where I live, the Concorde used to go over very, very often. And to begin with, I had Concorde as the idea going over, but I had to change it to the red arrows when Concorde stopped flying. But the red arrows have come over our house a few times because we live quite close to London. So there we go. There he is at the end of the road. Poor soul, I said to myself, probably thinks it's his spaceship come to rescue him. It would take more than a puff of blue ear smoke to get him a ride on one of those, and they definitely wouldn't be taking him home, much more likely to the government laboratories. As their last echo faded across the sky, the alien, who had calmed down, didn't, as I thought he would, shoot off around the corner. Instead, he stood there gazing dreamily into the sky as if he'd just seen Father Christmas and his reindeers, or a few stray angels. An alien trance, I thought, as I started walking towards him. At that moment, had he heard my thoughts? He switched his gaze out of the sky and down the road towards me. Immediately, he started waving vigorously. As I approached, I could see a broad grin on his moon-shaped face. He seemed to have found his long-lost soulmate again. That was the red arrows, I declared with a smile. The alien nodded enthusiastically. "Did you think they might be your spaceship?" I said. The alien took a step back a pace and frowned indignantly, as if I just said something really dumb. "Oh, so you speak English," I faltered, glimpsing his flat, long-toed feet. You can sort of see them up in the picture up there. And actually, you can see them here. There we go. There's his feet. He pulled a stiff, upside-down smile, then gestured as if adjusting an invisible shower control. By this, I think he meant a little. Where do you come from? I asked, my eyes following his trails of blue smoke upwards. Eek! Screeched the alien in an alien echo, pointing to the sky. Of course, I said, smiling. I know all about the planets. Got a poster in my room and lots of books. Do you want to come and see? You could show me your home. I could barely believe my luck when the alien shrugged his shoulders and smiled shyly, as if to say, why not? So that was chapter 1 of Eeek, the Runaway Alien. I'm just going to read you a little bit from chapter 2 just so you get a little feel for what's going to happen next. So here we go, chapter 2. Dad was still in the shed, and judging by the thumps I could hear through the living room wall, Rory was practicing diving into the ocean from the sofa. Either that, or another of his favourite games, playing Batman, leaping from the Empire State Building to catch a baddie. Mum was still out. With the coast clear and, as you might imagine, more than a little excited, I took my alien friend straight up the stairs to my bedroom. As I opened the door, my enormous map of the universe confronted us, hanging directly above my bed on the opposite side of the room. There we go, we have a picture coming in a moment. I realised at this point it was probably my interest in space, so often mocked by others, that had singled me out for this special visit from an extraterrestrial being. Suddenly I felt privileged, proud beyond words. Thinking of what my friends were probably doing at this precise moment, I also felt extremely smug. Here it is, I cried confidently, scrambling onto my bed and diving towards the map. Now, where are you from? Here comes another picture. I hope you can see that. Just make sure you can. Yep, there we go. So there he is. He's gone into the bedroom. The alien's standing in the doorway, and he's showing him his picture of the universe. Now, where are you from? No Eeek in reply. No already familiar pant of cool breath behind me. I looked round. To my horror, the alien had vanished. Only thin air hovered in my doorway. Friend, where are you? My heart beat furiously. Could I have imagined all this? But just then, to my delight, a puff of blue smoke rose up from the foot of my bed, whereupon the alien stood up grinning from ear to ear, holding out my football boots. So there we go. And there he is, holding up his football boots. Okay, so that was chapters 1 and 2 of The Secret Lake, of Eeek, the Runaway Alien. I thought it might be quite fun. And I'm just going to bring up a couple of pictures to show you before I end this reading. So these are also from Eeek, the Runaway Alien. So this is Eek's family. He brings a family photo with him, which he shows to Charlie a little bit later in the story. And so this is my illustrator Damir Kundelik. You can see he's fantastic. And this is a little bit later on in the story where Eek and his best friend Jake where Charlie and his best friend Jake take Eek to a fancy dress party, and they all go dressed as aliens, and nobody realizes that Eek is actually a real alien. So let's pop those back. There we go. There we go. And I think I'll bring Eek over to say goodbye to you. There we go. So here we go, Eek. I hope you enjoyed the reading, and Eek just wants to say goodbye, and you can find out more about Eek if you go to my website, and I hope you enjoy. Bye for now.